guys, what's up? It's Katie Candy and the Droker here with another episode of From Comics to Cinemas podcast. For those of you who don't know, we are gamers on Twitch, and you can see the links to those channels in this description of the podcast and at the end of the podcast. So make sure to drop us a follow. Remember, you can catch the live recording of the show every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Candyland Discord. Now, I don't know about you, Droker, but I am super excited to talk about this episode. Yeah, we made it. As you guys can see, my setup is a little bit different. And it's a little bit wonky.
What do you mean? Huh? I don't notice anything different.
This is the first podcast for me from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I am happy to be back into Berg. So
is that like Dub Bears?
Absolutely not. Don't no.
Oh.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
Had to. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, man, we made it. We're here. We're finally at the end. Moon Knight happened. From when we started the podcast to now. We're on the second to last episode.
I know, it's crazy. We're on the second to last episode of season 1. It's crazy that we've, been pretty consistent with it, knowing the two of us. So but it's so funny that we started on Moon Knight and we're nearly ending the season on Moon Knight. We're totally going to end the season on Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness next week.
Yes.
But which is funny because that was episode 3, I believe. So
yeah.
It's funny how things are like coming full circle.
It's full circle. Like a moon.
Oh. Not the big red cheese.
Whatever. Shazam. Man. So, what'd you first impressions, what'd you overall think? How'd you feel about it? Now coming out of it, have you seen it a couple times now? Did you just watch it one time through? I mean, because I know you said you were like starting over every time you watched a new episode.
Pretty much, yeah. And if I didn't, I went back like the next day or like 2 days later and rewatched the episodes in order up through, and I absolutely love it. I thought it was a fantastic run. I hope they do a second season.
I'm pretty sure with who they introduced in the first season we're gonna.
Oh yeah, I would definitely say so. And by the way, guys, if you haven't watched the Moon Knight series or haven't seen the season finale of it or potentially series finale, I don't know. Be fair warned, this is going to be very spoiler heavy.
What?
I know. Crazy, right?
No, yeah, we're going to spoil the hell out of this one. Yeah, it was good. I thought it was overall pretty good. I have some minor issues, but yeah, overall, like you said, great series, great season, whatever you want to call it for right now.
And I gotta say, Oscar Isaac playing essentially 4 characters was great.
It was so. I think it was an episode. I forget what episode it was. 4. Where he moves the sky with Khonshu.
Oh my gosh, that was so good.
Where he's like he's Mark and he like looks in the mirror, he goes, okay, like you take over, and then like you can see him physically transform into Steven.
Yep.
I was like, whoa, okay, that's pretty good acting. I couldn't do that. That's pretty good. You can physically see Mark turn into Steven. It was nuts.
It was actually amazing. Nuts. It was so
good. He did a good job. He did a great job.
I absolutely loved it. Oh my gosh. And the guy who voiced Khonshu, was that?
Oh god, I sent you the link for the I forgot his name already. That was I know him from Scarface of all movies. I know him from Scarface. He's done a lot of stuff. Murray Abram.
F. Murray Abram. Yeah, he did such a good job. Job. Ethan Hawke as the villain. Ethan Hawke was a great villain because you could totally see like like the cult mentality and like his
He
point
was
of view
good.
and everything. Like it was very, very good. The whole like Amit trying to bring her forth, and when she finally came forth,
Mm-hmm.
you were like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's a
Yeah.
cool looking crocodile goddess,
Yeah, she
right?
was pretty cool. Yeah, she was pretty like Khonshu actually all the ones that we got to see. Khonshu, what's her name?
Talent.
Tower Tawet. And then of course the Croc, the Amit. They all looked really.
They all looked really good, and I was nervous, right? Because like I was like especially when she got big and Khonshu got big, like when they were huge, just
Mm.
battling and the fight scene for them, I was just like, how's this gonna play out? Is this gonna look super cheesy? But it didn't. I really enjoyed it, and when she's like about to bite Khonshu, I was like, no.
Yeah, it's funny because the guy who voices Khonshu and Oscar Isaac are actually like real life buddies.
Yeah,
They're like really good friends. They've acted together previously within Shakespeare stuff. So like it's really funny that they ended up in Moon Knight together. And yeah, it was good. I love the voice. I love the sarcastic like wittiness of Khonshu when he
he's
was like
so
the idiot's back.
snarky.
Like he's
He
just
like
be
calling him an
quiet,
idiot,
worm. Like yeah, and
parasite,
he's
worm, like
just so condescending, but like in such like a silly way for a god to talk. But you gotta remember, it's like a god talking to like a
yeah,
servant, a peasant. So like it's hilarious. I don't know.
it's
I loved it.
very like fitting, right? So like that's how you
Yeah.
would maybe kind of like expect a god to talk to someone. So
Yeah,
it
it
was
was good.
good. I like how they took a lot of stuff from the Lemire run or the
Mhm.
Lemire run. I
Mhm.
really enjoyed that. Which is funny
Mhm.
because, from the first episode that we did when we were speculating and kind of just
Mhm.
going over Moon Knight and the comics, like we were hoping
Mhm.
that we were kind of thinking that's what they were going to do. And
Yep.
they ended up doing that. So for me, that made me
Yeah.
super happy. I was like, we were right.
Yeah. Yeah, we got that one for sure. I think we talked about Raw, I think it was. Was it Raw
Yeah, we
or
talked
yeah.
about Ra and the
But I
Sun
know we talked
King.
about Amit as well because we saw a picture of all the gods together,
Yes.
and we started noticing all the croc symbolism. So I'm pretty sure we called that as well.
Yeah, but we
Um,
we talked
we were
about
back
that.
and
We
forth on
didn't
that
really
one.
call her Amit. We called her
Right.
Set, I think.
Set because I think
So
that was the actual non-Marvel version.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody's gonna be like, "Ah, you're wrong." I don't really care. Um, it was great. It was. He was super super creepy. I like how they kind of tied in the modern story arc with like Ethan Hawke's character was almost like the Hunter's Moon, but like he's like kind of retired now. He's gonna be Amit's avatar.
Yeah.
It's like I've already been where you are. I was already the avatar. Like that was kind of a cool little twist. I didn't see that coming, honestly. I thought maybe he was gonna be like a disciple or like a I don't know. I didn't see the former Avatar. I just didn't see that
Yeah, I
coming.
definitely did not see that coming.
Yeah,
So
he was Moon Knight. Okay, he was Moon Knight. What?
and I just want to say the costume design for Moon Knight. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
so good.
and the way it was shot. This is the cinematography, the way it was shot in general, all the
Oh my
hallway
god.
scenes, the blinking light scenes, are just really well done.
It was so good. And I liked how they portrayed, the going from different personalities from Mark to Steven, and then
Yeah,
especially when
yeah.
Jake became present and they were like, was that you? No. Was that you? No. Who
We
was
got to
that?
see that. Yeah, we got to see Jake early on. Actually, I'm convinced we got to see Jake way earlier than we were led on to believe.
I think we saw, so honestly, like when the archaeologists and stuff were killed,
Mhm.
I think that was Jake.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
in the comics Jake's always the more violent one,
Yeah, yeah.
so I think they did some pretty accurate stuff there, like not in like Moon Knight form. He's always uh the more violent one. And I thought that was a cool little twist how at the very end in the limo Khonshu's like, Mark thought he was my avatar.
Yeah, and yeah, it's kind of reveals the whole time Khonshu knew, which I think we all kind of knew.
We
At
all
least
knew
I
Khonshu
it wasn't like
knew.
a surprise. I was like, yeah, of course he was. He's manipulating God. This is what he does. This is the whole relationship. That maybe that's because of the research we've done. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, we did a
yeah,
lot for that first episode. So,
yeah. That wasn't that much of that wasn't a shock, but I didn't like how he was speaking Spanish. I, they street tacoed my Moon Knight, man. They made the Spanish speaking one the violent one, man. God, Marvel had to go there. Nah, but it's actually interesting because you got to think about it. He's playing somebody who speaks Spanish, somebody who speaks English, and then somebody who speaks proper English as well. And it's crazy
yeah.
doing one series or even show. So I don't know. Again, kudos to Oscar Isaac. Did you notice the name of the hospital?
I did.
Yeah, the Sienkiewicz,
Hmm.
Memorial Hospital or whatever it was. Yeah, B actually pointed that out to me. I was like,
That was
that's
really
pretty
cool.
cool.
That
Yeah,
was
that was pretty
really
cool.
good.
Yeah. Sankiewicz?
Sankovic.
Sankiewicz. Got it. Okay, cool. Sankovic, sorry. I'm just trying to trigger chat right now. Um but it was a really cool nod to what we had talked about in the first episode. That limo was actually, it said this had the Spectre license plate,
Yeah, it
and it was like
did.
ripped straight out of the comics
It
too.
was. And like Khonshu dressed in the suit, like all swanky. I was like, oh, that's taken. Like I was like, that's taken from the comics. I was like, this is
Yeah,
beautiful. Like I was super happy to see that. So it was
yeah,
good. I thought the characters were great. The Scarlet Scarab, I didn't put two and two together
uh-huh,
with the Scarlet Scarab until the very last episode when Layla actually became the Scarlet Scarab. So
yeah,
what they did was they combined a few characters.
yeah.
So her father in the comics was the original
Correct.
Scarlet Scarab, and I didn't put the and I went, "Oh my god."
Yeah. I like that they kind of took liberty with this Scarlet Scarab, because I got to be honest with you, I didn't even know there was a Scarlet Scarab in the Marvel universe. I only know the Scarlet Scarab in the DC universe. So I had to look all this up, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool because her father went toe to toe with Thor
Mhm.
at one point and was equally matched. So
Mhm.
that tells you the power that they could potentially see from her. I mean, we already saw quite a bit from her in the series. I mean, she looked good in the armor. She was an amazing character. There was that cheesy moment where the kid was like, "Are you an Egyptian superhero?" But honestly, it was kind of necessary
Yeah, it
because
was. I feel like it
when has there
was.
ever been an Egyptian superhero? So good on them. Good on them.
I'm trying to think, and I can't think of any off the top of my head, and that
Right.
could just be at least in film, right?
Well, I'm
And
talking about, in
yeah,
mainstream media, like brought to the forefront. Like
yeah,
the
and
MCU is a major universe.
oh
It's a
yeah,
major property.
and
Like
that could just be me being an ignorant American, which you can
right,
tell me if it is. I take
right.
no, like I
Me too.
understand that. So, um, but
Yeah, so it's cool. I liked it.
it was a very that end scene there, and her armor looked
So
so good.
oh good. The gold and the red. Oh.
I was like, that's an HBIC right there if I ever saw one.
Yeah, and she had like the Valkyrie kind of like sword wing thing going
Hmm.
on. Oh, it was just cool, man.
And it made me wonder. I was like, I wonder if Talbot chose her because maybe her father was the
Hmm.
Scarlet Scarab in this
Right.
universe, and when he died, she was left without.
Yeah, because she said she did talk to him. She
Hmm.
she led him to the field of Reef. She remembered him, so
That
that was something that she did mention.
that's what I'm kind of
Uh,
wondering. So,
uh.
and he was an archaeologist protecting like you
Hmm.
know ancient artifacts and all of that. So it made me kind of think. I wonder if that was Marvel's, if that was kind of like a little hint or Easter egg type deal.
Maybe, maybe they did a good job with that one though. She is. I hope to see more of her. The Talwada character was really really good. I think they did a good job with her. The whole afterlife that whole Egyptian afterlife thing. I think that was really interesting to watch.
I
play
really
out.
liked that they showed that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, we're in Egypt, we're dealing with Egyptian deities, so now we're gonna
Yeah.
see what an afterlife looks like to Egyptians. And I thought that was really cool. That was like a good, like, keeping it in the whole Egypt theme. So, but yeah, that Talit character was
she
I love how
good.
she's like, hi, and they just like scream. And I'm like, really? After everything you've seen, you're gonna scream at a hippo saying hi?
Which also in that scene, and I think it was the same episode, we got to see the sarcophagus, which was Jake locked up, which we talked about from the run where he locks his personalities in a sarcophagus in his mind.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was kind of cool. We talked about that. I was like, we got to see it. That's pretty dope.
I was like, that is epic. I was like, I told my boyfriend that. He's like, who do you think was in that sarcophagus? I was like, that's Jake.
That's Jake, yeah.
I was
like,
that's 100% Jake. Yeah. And I was like, are we going to see Jake bust out? Like, I was really hoping that sarcophagus was going to open and we were going to see Jake and it was going to be all three of them and everything.
Yeah, because they kept talking about balance and they kept talking about balance, which was why I was a little confused.
When his scales balance?
Yeah, when Steven got left behind and Mark's scales balance, because that means... See, okay, so... all right, strap in, boys. Here we go. So does that mean that Jake is a construct of Steven, as Steven was a construct of Mark? And I'm talking about in the MCU, not in comics. Like in the MCU, because that's the only thing that makes sense, right? Because if Steven was dead or gone or whatever, frozen, his soul was taken, then Jake's would as well if it was a construct of Steven. So then Mark's scales would be balanced, because if Jake lived on inside of Mark after Steven died, then his scales would not be balanced, right?
Right. Or
and
hear me out on this.
Yeah.
Mark is a construct of Jake.
Okay. That's the other thing. But so then why would they still balance them?
I don't know. Because movies and TV and comics.
This is my one issue with not one issue. Like this is the one thing that I can't. I'm like having an issue wrap my head around. I think maybe I'm overthinking it, but I was like, wait. But if, and then he's inside, and then with the balancing, but it can't be because the violence with the Jake and
then some swamp gas refracted off of Venus, and that's what caused the.
Oh man, I can't wait. I want to see Jake's Moon Knight outfit, because so far Steven and Mark have had different costumes when they're both Moon Knight.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm hoping Jake's
is
like
I did see a
darker.
thing. I did see a thing. I read a thing after I finally watched the episode where they want to give Jake, or the director wants to give Jake, the Hunter's Moon. The
darker, the more the blacker. Yeah. Okay, good. That's what I was, because I was like, God, I really hope he has the darker Moon Knight suit, because that would just be so cool. Yeah, I definitely, that was really nice. And we also got introduced to a couple of other characters from Moon Knight universe. We got we got Shadow Knight.
We did get Shadow
Knight. Actually got we got Randall. We got a confirmation he exists. He died early on as a kid, which in Marvel that's gonna stay for long. And then we got Mr. Midnight as well, Anton Mogart, the Collector. So we actually got him as well, the thief and the martial artist, which was kind of cool to see him, like, just because there's a scene where they're at his compound or whatever with the pyramid and like the cloth, the tapestry they're trying to put together to find Amit's tomb, where Moon Knight comes up over the pyramid, and it's like his big reveal there to everybody, and like you see Anton kind of turn to him, and like he's like, he kind of has like that in awe gasp, so you can tell he's got kind of almost like inspired ish, and you're like, oh yeah. So we're hoping to see more of him if there's a season 2. That's what I want.
Well, if they do, they're gonna have to use a different actor, because that is the actor that died skiing, which was really sad.
Yeah, there's been a lot of crazy things going on with actors in current comic book related shows and movies, and on something in the water, or maybe the moon. I'm not really sure. Maybe Mercury's in Gatorade. I'm not really sure.
Mercury's in Gatorade. Oh my god.
It's anyway. It was cool that they did those little introductions. I honestly, I mean, I kind of want more of Shadow Knight than Mister Midnight. Think we might, maybe we get Midnight. Maybe we get his son, the cyborg. Maybe we just get straight up Midnight.
We could.
Like, you killed my father, now prepare to die, kind of situation. You know?
Is this the Princess Bride? Indigo
It,
Montoya, you killed my father. Prepare to
it
die.
works, okay? It works. It's a good plot. I'm already invested when somebody's father dies. Or uncle, I don't know. Whatever.
Okay, Lion King.
It, yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. If Scarlet Scarab gets her own spinoff, I'll be very happy for her because I think she deserves it. I would love to see more.
I have one issue because
Mhm.
I heard it was rumored, and I know the word rumored is there, that Blade was gonna be in Moon Knight, Mahershala Ali, and I was like, post-credit scene, here we go, and then
I mean, but we did get Jake.
We did get
Jake. Speaking all kinds of smooth Spanish. Oh man.
So, and now he's released. He's not stuck in the sarcophagus anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what CB just tried to type in the chat, but that I don't think that's sarcophagus.
That's not true. There's actually a couple of ties to the MCU already. You just had to be paying attention, you nerd.
There's a lot of ties to the MCU. What do you mean, Brandon?
There was actually a big theory that Steven was gone in the blip in return, and that's why Mark had
what? That
issues.
Would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Because and it kind of, in the fact that he was able to be frozen in the afterlife means that he did have kind of a soul. So if he could be one of the ones that was gone in the blip, which would be an interesting theory.
That actually
I don't know, but they
of sense.
It does kind of clash with what they say in the show with how, you know, Mark created him as a kid to deal with his mom beating him. So
yeah, but I mean, he created him, but he was always there, right?
Yeah, and maybe that's why he was gone for so long.
Yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really like that theory.
The main one B is the global organization, the Reformation Global Organization. There's banners of that all over and on the buses and then on town billboards and like, so it's post blip.
There's also the Kang statue.
Yes, in the hieroglyphs and everything when they go through all that. So get wrecked, nerd.
Never noticed this guy. Ramatut, yes.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, that was I don't know. It was overall absolutely amazing. I loved how they kind of combined the Shadow Knight and Moon Knight outfit into the one we got in the MCU with like the mummy looking wraps and less of like the carbonadium armor I think we talked about last time.
We did.
So it was less that route and more the mummy route, but more like the Fist of Khonshu armor, the more Egyptian looking armor, which was
more like what did he call it? Ceremonial robe.
Yeah, the ceremonial. Yeah, so that was kind of cool. We got to see. It was interesting that they kind of sectioned off the weapons to the two different characters. Mr. Knight had the truncheon, and Moon and Mark had the darts. You never really saw him use, like, Mr. Knight never used the crescent darts. Nope. So it was really cool to see that. We got to see both of them use it, and then when they eventually like became one, you got to see them switch back and forth and use the weapons, which was a really cool scene.
And I really cool liked, you could see, I really liked when you saw Steven too, kind of like accept who he is, right? Yeah. And he really like, he was no longer kind of like the loser, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. He's like, I'm here too. Wait, that means I'm Moon Knight as well, but he's Mr. Knight. But yeah, it's cool. I love, again, I can't tell you how much I loved it. I really do. It just... and then just the silliness of the voice on top of it just kind of sells it for me. So just enough campy.
dude, Khonshu's voice.
Oh, he did a great job
He
acting
did
that voice, man. He did a
so
good
good,
job.
right?
He,
Like, I can't. After hearing him, I can't think of anyone else
mm-mm.
who should play Khonshu.
No, and yeah, he needs to. And it's funny because in the interview he says he presented him with a bunch of voices, but that was the one he hoped they would pick,
Yeah,
and they picked that one, which was cool. So he
which
has a big affinity for the character.
yeah, he does. And like I really hope they come back with season 2. I really hope they
Yeah,
keep you know, Abrams as Khonshu and
yeah,
obviously Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight. Um
yeah.
I hope that, you know, we get a tie-in with we maybe get some Midnight Sun stuff build up.
Maybe.
Or hey, maybe if they do a season 2, that's what they run with.
Maybe I just I want more, but I want them to take the time with it, and I want them to do the same thing they did with this one, where everybody has input with everything, and it's not just one person leading
Yeah.
the
Actually,
show.
what I would love
Yeah,
to see. So, you know, we're getting a Werewolf by Night this
yeah,
fall, this
yeah,
Halloween, right? It's the Halloween episode. They've already confirmed it.
yeah.
I would love if somewhere along the line, whether it be the post-credit scene or something of the end of that, Moon Knight shows up and like tries to fight Werewolf by Night because he has that contract for him, right? Taken directly from the comics. Like I would love to see that. That would be such a good like fan service to all
Yeah.
us nerdy comic fans, and B, it would be such a good way to build up Midnight Suns.
If not that, at the very least, have Werewolf by Night somewhere in there mention what happened in the sky in Egypt, and maybe have him venture out there and maybe just reference it somewhere in that. Because I was thinking about that scene where like they turn back the night sky. I was like, that's a huge event. That's
That's
a
oh
very
yeah.
very big event. That needs to be that has that the Avengers like basically the headquarters had to have picked up on that, right? Like there's an alarm somewhere when we had somebody screwing with the sky, like somewhere, like Wakanda or maybe in Atlantis. I don't know, somewhere like right. Like I'm not
Or the Sanctum Sanctorium, right?
some like somewhere somehow on in the Avengers
Well,
Earth there was an alarm going
and you
off.
know, I was thinking about that and I was like, you know what, Blade's got to see that and be like, what's this?
Exactly. It's like or like you said, maybe even like or like a wizard from like like one of the sanctums, just like no, that's not normal. I just it's they glossed over that, and I really hope they go back to that as like I said, like
Well,
he's
and
like
actually, I think
something.
it could. I think that could actually have a lot of tie-ins with Thor: Love and Thunder with Gore the God Butcher.
Uh,
Because what if Gore saw that and was like, "Hmm, that's not very unmortal like.
oh, that's good. I didn't think about that.
That's very godlike, right?"
Oh, I'm going to Earth. Play me
Yeah.
some gods in my name.
It just I honestly think that could have opened the doorway
Maybe,
for
yeah.
Gore the God Butcher to kind of show up, kind of tie in there with
I
Thor
didn't think
Love
about
and
that. Yeah.
Thunder.
We kicked open the door for gods. We got gods now. We got multiple gods.
Cuz
We got multiple avatars.
if you think about it, right? Besides like Thor and Odin and
Mhm.
Loki, this is really the first time this is the second time really we've run into gods. So,
Yeah, because Alexander the Great exists in the Marvel universe now, and
mhm.
he has been confirmed to have his scales balanced.
Mhm.
So that he was again, you're solidifying yourself in history, going back in time with all these gods and human interactions. Like it's, you're right.
So, I'm just saying this could
It
have
could happen.
it may not work out that way, but if it did, like I would totally be okay with it because it would make sense for it too. Because you had all the gods avatars there, and then the gods saw what Khonshu did when he turned back the night sky, and they were like, you can't do that. And
Yeah, and there
maybe
were a lot of gods on that wall
there
too.
was a lot of gods on that wall, and there were a lot of gods statued or
Yeah.
imprisoned, right?
Yeah.
So Gore could just see that and be like, "Oh, hey,
Mm,
smash!
mm-hmm. This is easy. This
This
is
is way easier."
boom, shake the room, everybody dead. Yeah, I didn't even think about that because yeah, they just kicked the door wide open. I mean, well, I maybe would argue in Shang-Chi that kind of happened
Oh yeah,
because the
kind of.
dragon,
The
right, could be
dragon.
considered like a god,
Yeah.
right? Like especially like especially to yeah, but this was like the whole Ennead basically, which was really cool. We got
Yeah. Yeah, that was really cool. And I still love in the first episode how like Steven tells his boss like there's only 7 on the picture and there's actually 9.
yeah, 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 yeah. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. There's been a major mishap. You're like, what? Yeah, he did a great job acting as Steven. I want to, like I said, I want to see more of Jake. If I keep wanting to say if season 2, but I have a very good
They have to.
too.
Like I know
I'll be
Oscar
shocked if
Isaac
not.
only signed on for 1 season because of like
Hmm.
time commitment and stuff, but you can't
Yeah,
tell me after like the success of this that he's going to be like, "Yeah, no, I'm good." Right?
yeah, yeah. Even
With like the realm of possibilities.
you could just and like we talked about in the first episode with all the interactions with all, other Marvel characters that possibly happen should happen if they renew, especially going to second season. I would like to see more stateside Moon Knight action in
Yeah.
season 2. If there's a season 2, maybe not stateside, maybe in UK, maybe just more city
Well, I
action,
could I could
less out in the open desert action.
I could see that, especially since Mark is
Yeah,
quote unquote free
yeah,
from Khonshu, right?
yeah.
Or hey, here's a theory for you. Are you ready for this? Right? How about we get the Moon Knight Punisher meetup
Yeah, yeah, we could,
because
and
that
we should.
happens in Mexico.
Mm.
So
Another desert. Woo!
we get the we get the we get the hey Frank, hey Mark,
Yeah, good.
still
Yeah,
crazy? Yep. Still murdering people? Yep. How's your imaginary god? He's good. How's your dead family? Like I just want that interaction. I want it
yeah.
so bad.
Especially between Oscar Isaac and John Barenthal. Especially between, I would probably if okay, look, if that happens, I would 1000% get a Marvel tattoo
All right.
if that
You
happens.
guys heard it here first, folks. What happens if we get the Deadpool Moon Knight mashup?
I want solid minimum 20 minutes of banter if that happened with all the personalities
Deadpool
and
talking to
Khonshu
all the
and
personalities.
Khonshu. Yeah, and I want Khonshu to talk to Deadpool. And I
Oh
want
my
him to
god,
talk.
could you
I want Ryan
imagine?
Reynolds and Abro. Oh my God, Ryan. That would be great.
Kill him! Crush his windpipe! Sorry there, Big Bird. Can't kill me. Tried.
That was such a good interaction between those two. That was probably my favorite between Steven and Khonshu. Just so good. Just the way he talks to him, and it's just, and but the thing is like Steven's the one who knows everything.
That's
Well,
right.
as far as like Egyptology and everything, like he's the smart one.
It's really
Uh,
funny because if you knew nothing of the comics, you didn't know Jake existed, right? You would
mm-hmm.
assume that like Steven was the brain, Mark was the brawn.
Was LeBron
But
right?
really it's like Steven's the brain, Jake's the brawn, Mark is in between.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mark's along for the ride.
Which is funny because Mark is the quote unquote dominant
Mm.
personality, right? So in the comics, uh,
Yep.
and I feel like there was a good ratio of Mark and Steven in the show.
There was because like episode 1 was all Steven, episode 2 was pretty much Mark, episode 3 was both. And then you got like you start to get hints of Jake like in like 4, I think, or 5, somewhere in there. You start to get like more hints of like, oh, okay, like there's because especially in the beginning, you start to see like the reflection. There's like 3.
Yeah.
There's 3 reflections in the mirror. There's 3 shadows. There's 3 this. There's 3 that. You start to pick up on that when you rewatch it a couple times. Especially in the first episode, pretty much lays out the whole series.
Oh, it does.
If there's so many references to the whole rest of the series in the first episode.
100% it does.
It's so crazy how they did that.
It's great in that sense too, because when it's the first episode, you're not thinking that.
Correct.
Right?
Correct at all.
Like you have to actually go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, because Tawada, it's mentioned in the first episode. He's like Tawada Hippo got us, and he's got like the plush hippo hand. Like it's just like a little quick like just pass through. But I was like, oh my god, she was introduced in episode 1. Why? What?
Hi.
It was cool. Yeah, it was. They did a really good job, and it's because they took their time with it. And I wanted them to take their time with season 2, and it seems like they had fun on it with this show. Like Ethan Hawke was so creepy. But not like in a I didn't want to watch him kind of way. In like a what's he gonna do now kind of.
Yeah, he was one of those villains where you were kind of like, I kind of see his point of view, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like wanting to like make the world a better place by like preventing things from happening.
Yeah.
You know? And then Khonshu kind of being the one who's like, well, you can't punish someone for potentially doing something because there's always a choice, right? And I think that was kind of the big theme here, where like Ahmet was like they have no choice. Like they will do something. And then Khonshu's like, no, they have a choice, right? You always have a choice. And that was that laid back into the end there when Khonshu wanted Steven to kill Ahmet, who was imprisoned inside Hera, right? But Steven and Mark both said no. Right? They said no. And then, we find out that
Jake didn't say no.
Jake didn't say no, right? Jake.
Jake unalived half a hospital just to get to Harrow, dude.
He really did. Like, as soon as they showed the hat, right? I was like,
yeah,
oh
same.
God, it's Jake.
I knew.
I was like,
the gloves and the hat. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, it's Jake. It's Jake. Well, rip Harrow.
Yep. I was like, is that the driver? It's the driver. Oh no. And then he walks by all the bodies. I was like, oh no.
Like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, well, he dead.
Because you're kind of wondering what's going to happen to him, right? You're like, I still got the avatar. Oh.
My boyfriend's like, what do you mean? And I was like, that's Jake. He dead.
Jake likes to kill.
Yes. Jake likes how did
kill.
Verge put it? Very stabby.
Yeah, he likes to do the stabby.
He likes to do stabby. But it was good. Quite the post-credit scene, because had that scene not been in there, you'd been like, oh, we're going to get Ahmet version 2.0, right? She's going to get freed again, and yada, yada, yada. But knowing who Khonshu is, and knowing Khonshu's personality, and how he's kind of like so driven to do the right thing, or what he believes to be the right thing, and how much he sacrifices for it, right? That going into that, there's no way Ahmet was going to survive.
Yeah. And it was, I liked Harrow's look. I really wish the staff wasn't the only thing that changed when he went full avatar of Ahmet. I kind of wish he got something.
Yeah.
Some kind of different garb or something. I'm not asking for like a glowing suit or anything, but just something different. But the staff was cool. Don't get me wrong. But
can we talk about too how Alexander the Great was the avatar that imprisoned Ahmet?
Yeah, he was the one that imprisoned, which he was the first, which means he at one point did believe it was okay to kill people for crimes they were going to commit, a la Minority Report. Like it was the pre-crime division. It's what it was.
Pre-crime
That's
vision.
what it was. Oh my god, that's what it was.
It
That's what
was.
I'm first visionary of that. Um, it was cool seeing them fight among the pyramids.
Oh, I thought that was
Um,
great.
that was really cool. I didn't think I was gonna like that as much as I did. I was like, oh, this is kind of cheesy. Oh, okay, this is actually kind of cool.
I thought, and this is going to sound terrible, and I apologize
Uh,
for this ahead of time, but I thought it was going to be very much like, because, she's like a big crocodile, right? And I was like, this is
mhm.
going to be very Godzilla esque fighting amongst the
So,
pyramids.
that was my initial thought too. That's why I was kind of like hesitant at first, but then I saw it and I was like, "Ah, they actually fighting. They're not doing like
Hmm.
the whole like kaiju fighting." So
And
that was cool.
the actress who voiced Ahmet, I thought was really good too. Like her
Yeah,
lines were very good. Like
very deliberate.
very deliberate. Like she was
Yeah.
very much like, Ahmet was very much like, I this is how the world's
Hmm.
gonna be. We're gonna like, stop evil before it happens. But again, there's always choice, and I love that was kind of like the theme of the show. There's always a choice. You always have this
Hmm.
choice to make. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, they did a good job with that, and just kind of like learning to just accept just you for
Hmm.
like just your like you said, your choices, the choices that you made, the choices that you're going to make. You're not always going to make the right choice, but you're still you.
Yeah, and
So,
like I and like that kind of ties into to like Steven and Mark accepting each other,
mhm,
because
mhm.
the very first they did not. Like Mark was
No.
like, "Give me the body,"
Yeah,
and then Mark going back and saving Steven was like, that was really like touching. Of
yeah,
like them
it was
accept
good.
fully accepting each other, and basically that was like the point that they became one. I feel like.
Yeah, I just feel like now after watching Moon Knight, they could have maybe went a different route with Black Widow and getting the Soul Stone. That's maybe they could have gotten the soul another way. I'm just saying, could have kind of talked to Arrow real quick. Throwing that out there
Oh my god!
because it was raining souls.
It really,
It was
I well,
there were souls
they
everywhere.
were just floating up in the sky, and
They could have
Ahmed
just
was
used one
just
of
like
those.
chomping away, right?
Sucking souls out of the sky. Just use one of those for the soul stone. Look, there it goes. Just go grab it. After I didn't think about that till like the fourth. I think the fourth watch through. I was like, wait, hold on. There's just like a whole realm of souls here. They couldn't just tap into this. What? What? But no, I guess it had to be on the planet, right? I don't know. I don't know. It was just interesting, but it was cool to see that there's different afterlives
Mm-hmm.
potentially in the Marvel universe now. So maybe we'll get other ones. Maybe we'll get to see future ones and different ones, and maybe we'll get to see. I don't know. I'm kind of
Yeah.
interested now to see what we get now. After seeing this, because they did a good job. They did this. My minor issues with it here and there. Overall, over everybody, even what's her face acted really, really, really good. What's the actress who played Scarlet Scarab? She
Oh.
when she was switching between Avatar voices and herself, great job.
Oh
She did a
yeah.
great job.
Oh yeah.
So
when Talbot was speaking
yeah,
through her.
yeah, through her, and she was switching between the two, like hunched over and like upright and like hunched over. And I was like, that's actually that's hard to do, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like these actors, they got chops,
They
man.
did very well.
Yeah, they
I
really
was
did. They did a good job.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great series, and like I really want a season 2. So,
The only things I think they well, I guess I can't really. It's not a bad thing, but like it was as violent, I think, as I wanted it to be, but they did it in a way without actually showing it. It was a
yeah.
lot of cutscenes. There was a lot of jumping around. There was a lot of after the fact
Well, you
violence.
I feel like all the really violent scenes
Yeah,
were Jake,
yeah,
and we weren't really fully. We never saw Jake until the post-credit scene.
right,
So, but
right.
like, anytime Mark blacked out and there was just like people laying
Blood.
everywhere and blood everywhere, and he's like, what?
So, which also means we didn't get what I wanted. We didn't get to see him taking hits just for
Right.
the sake of taking hits in his fighting style. We definitely saw the more martial arty,
We did.
aerobic-y, nimbly spy kind of, which I'm okay with. I'm fine if and when we get to see Jake's Moon Knight version, and I want to see him just take hits, and if I get to see that, I'll be cool.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I think so with Jake.
I would imagine that's kind of the way they're going to go, and it tying into the Black Widow movie, it makes me really sad that they made Taskmaster that girl, because look,
now we're not going to get that interaction.
They could have done a lot of different things, and to me, the Black Widow movie was horrible, and they ruined a great villain that is Taskmaster.
I didn't like Taskmaster.
I did not.
Yeah.
I feel like they really dropped the ball with Taskmaster there, and it makes me really upset.
Visually looked cool, but just the whole everything else was not cool.
The only thing I think that could save it is if they called that the Taskmaster program or protocol.
Right, it made that like a version or something like that. Yeah, and
made that a version of the real Taskmaster. That's the only thing I'm
which
hoping,
they could do.
Which they could do, and then if Moon Knight continues, then we can get the scene where Moon Knight flies a plane into Taskmaster's office.
Yeah, I definitely want to see future of those interactions. We haven't even seen Marlene yet, so we got Layla at the love interaction instead. So
I feel
we did get a Frenchie reference, but it was only on the phone.
We did. I feel like Layla is Marlene.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we go that route too, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like they combined them.
Or maybe Marlene's Jake's wife.
Plot twist.
Gosh, they're gonna make her Puerto Rican, and she's gonna yell at him the first episode watch. Where have you been? Because Marvel reasons. That's why.
Actually, that's really a good idea. They have it nicely set up for a Scarlet Scarab series versus the Bushman who killed her dad, and Bushman is a main Moon Knight villain.
Right, they did talk about him. They did reference him by name. He said the Bushman brought me here. Calls him out. That's all. I forgot about. I did want to talk about that. That's true.
That's actually a very good point, Brandon. Which I would be totally okay with that.
Yes, and which would be we finally get Bushman. We're not going to get the face being cut off, but we're going to get Scarlet Scarab versus Bushman, which would be totally okay with. Maybe she cuts his face off. Ooh.
I don't think Disney's going to show a face,
but I want them
cutting off, unless it's the Jake cameo and they,
Yeah, they do the cut.
Yeah.
Oh my! What happened? Oh, there's blood everywhere. Yeah, it'll be interesting. And
then they just point and they go, that guy's missing a face.
Yeah, they could.
Or they do like in Peacemaker. This looks like pizza. That's a face.
There you go. I would be okay with that. I would be okay with that. So do you think moving forward we get any outside interaction between Moon Knight and character?
I think if we're gonna have any, it's gonna be with Werewolf by Night. At least moving forward.
Thinking maybe like Secret Avengers or anything?
Not yet. I don't think so. I really don't think yet. I think potentially in Blade, right?
Okay.
The Blade movie that's coming out, maybe there's like a cameo or like a reference to Moon Knight or something. At least that's what I would hope. But it's so hard for me to like say, because I feel like they could go so many different directions with this and go so many different ways. So
yeah.
I really want a Midnight Suns though.
Yeah, I do too, but I don't know, man. Oh, you remember how I said that And that run that Moon Knight was running, like that hero for hire business.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, apparently the building he has that in is actually the House of Shadows.
Really?
Yeah, made a deal with the House of Shadows, and apparently that's his his office for his hero for hire in that room.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah. So there's your tie-in with Doctor Strange right there. Is he wearing the red shirt? I know he's got the hat and the gloves. Is he wearing the red shirt and khaki? I think he might be with the black shoes, right?
You know what Chris is referring to there.
What is he referring to?
Are you? Who's on the phone? It's Jake from State Farm. Oh yeah. Well, what? Jake would say, "What are you wearing?
I
Khakis."
didn't even think about that. That's hilarious. That's a good one. I didn't even. I did not connect those two at all.
Oh my
That was good.
god.
That was good, dude. That was good.
Hammer.
There's your Hammerhead moment.
I love that these are now called Hammerhead moments.
I'm in my own head about Moon Knight and Doctor Strange, and I'm trying to think about stuff I can't tell you yet because I know things you don't now. So I'm trying to avoid saying stupid things, and these guys are roasting me in chat. I don't have the brain capacity for this.
See, for those of you who don't make the live recording, you miss what's being said in the chat. Like Chris, does Jake wear his red sweater and khakis?
Because I think he was wearing like a red hoodie or something in this shot. Anyway, it was cool to see the all. I wish they didn't wait to the last minute to reveal Jake because I kind of all knew he was there. It was by that time it was like, oh, okay, well, yeah. But
we all knew he was there.
Yeah.
As soon as Mark blacked out and he was like, "Did you do that? No. Did you do that? No." Like we all knew he was there. So that's why I was really hoping, like I said before, when his sarcophagus was rattling, that it would have opened. But I don't think we would have had the whole. We wouldn't have had the scene that we had when they were on the boat and going through the sands and everything. So it would have been a lot different of a scene, I feel like.
They did a good job. I was very, very happy with it. It's become my favorite Marvel series up to this point. It's taken over from Captain America and Winter Soldier.
I get kind of like a similar vibe between Daredevil and the Moon Knight series, like a similar tone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, same. Serious, but not serious, but also kind of really serious.
Yeah.
They did a good job. The Marvel's got a good thing going. Disney's on this Disney Plus. They what can I say?
They've done
I can't
good.
really say. Like my gripes were that they made the violent one the Spanish guy because of whatever reasons. But I get it. I haven't really read the comics. I don't know if Jake speaks Spanish in the comic. I don't.
I believe he does.
That just could be the thing that I just I didn't really learn until now.
I mean, they could have made him a violent Guido. Then I would have been highly offended.
Yeah. So it's just and like I said, the continuity with the whole soul balancing thing that I still have an issue with that, but I'll have to accept that's plot reason.
You should just think of it as like plot armor, right?
Yeah, it's just Batman reasons at this point. Like
Batman reasons.
Yeah. So I want more.
Yeah,
but I don't want them to rush it. That's my whole thing. I want more, but don't rush it. Damn.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for it.
Tie-ins. We want tie-ins. We want tie-ins.
We want tie-ins. We want tie-ins.
We want tie-ins.
We want crossovers.
Yes.
We want it all. Like
more truncheon.
I want to see some interactions. I want to see some Punisher interactions, some Deadpool interactions. I want to see obviously like Taskmaster. I want to see Bushman. I want some of the big baddies. I want the Midnight Suns. That's more that is the main thing that I want to finally see, because we're getting all of the pieces set up for them, right? We're getting Werewolf by Night. We have Moon Knight. We're getting Blade. We have that sorry excuse for Morbius. So maybe there's a different Morbius in this universe.
It's a multiverse. You don't know.
Exactly.
There's other ones.
Exactly. So, like I really want to see that. That's the main thing I want to see. I want to see the Midnight Suns, and I want to see them battle Lilith.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I want to see it go that route.
And give me the moon copter.
I gotta find that book. Where is that?
Give me the moon copter.
I have a book of all the Marvel vehicles. I have to find it. It's in a box now somewhere.
If I
Either
don't see moon copter by season 3, I'm rioting.
Mooncopter comes with Frenchie. It does. It does.
Uh,
Which I mean, we could. We don't have
we
Morbius. That
could,
trash
man.
belongs to Sony.
We could.
Yes, I want a Kevin Feige version.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Hey man, they took Vulture from our universe. We could take Morbius and make him better, right? Let Feige have him. Make him right.
That's not how the spell works. Re. Nah, it'll be interesting to see where they take it. I cannot wait for more. I want to see more psychological stuff as well, but I also want to see more action scenes because we got the like OP Moon Knight in this series. Dude was bulletproof. Dude,
Yeah, he could
he was all kinds of
regenerate.
flying
Like,
and super fast. He was all kinds of super everything.
yeah, he was. That was a lot. Like, I was like, wait
Yeah.
a minute.
They went full Superman on it. Like, all right, let's go. Like, he caught the bullets with his cape and he shot them back at the guys. I
Yeah,
was like, whoa.
that was pretty good. And when he came back from the dead and like the bullets came out of his
Yeah.
chest, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, so we definitely got the OP Moon Knight, which I'm okay with. It was really cool to see. I want to see more flying, more breaking through stuff, more fighting stuff. So, honestly, I think what would be really funny would be to see Khonshu and Thor interact,
Oh my god.
to have gods talk amongst each other and just like tell stories about how they ruled over humans and like who was like their servant and stuff like that. I would, that would be a fun interaction.
I listen. I would love to see. This is gonna. I I just want to see like what like Khonshu and Loki though.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it's probably never gonna happen, but I feel like
yeah,
Khonshu and Loki would be
would be a good one.
hilarious.
Yeah, that would be a good one. That. Yeah, the gods interacting with each other would be fun. I don't. They need to reference more stuff in Moon Knight and other shows. I want. That's what I want. Even if it's just like some winged mummy, in Egypt or something like that. Just a reference or a Scarlet Scarab reference. If what B said is true, she gets her own spin off. That's even better.
I mean, she could. I feel like a lot of people really enjoyed her character.
She nailed it.
She did. She did really
Yeah.
good. And
Yeah.
I think Brandon makes a good point here. Next TV shows coming up are Ms. Marvel, the Kamala Khan series,
Mm-hmm.
She-Hulk, Thor: Love and Thunder. Hope Moon Knight doesn't get forgotten about. Well, listen, I'm not very optimistic about Kamala Khan. And I'm not optimistic about it because like and this is just me, and this could be me being a comic snob, and maybe I am sometimes, but like I don't like that they changed her power set. I don't
Yeah.
like that they changed her power set to tie it in more with Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So, but that's just me. That could I know it's not just me, but she's not going to be stretchy. You didn't see that? Yeah, she's not going to be stretchy. She's got like bracelets.
She got power bracelets.
Yeah.
She's Wonder Woman.
Pretty much.
Uh,
So,
yeah, they. This is like I was talking about in Stream, I think, with Scar. That I, I I'm getting this feeling that they're gonna start doing whatever they want and be like multiverse reason
yeah.
at this point, and which is okay for now, but at some point you're gonna have to move on from that because that's gonna get old
I
too quick.
I feel like there's a line that needs to be drawn, and like you can't just point to something and be like multiverse reasons, because to a
Yeah.
point that excuse gets old and tiresome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I feel like that they're taking liberties with origins, especially with certain origins like that. They need to be careful because they have people. Heroes have fans for a reason,
mhm.
especially with origins. That's the that they align, get attracted to, feel for that character. So you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. It's kind of fishy. You mess with the character's origin, especially and power set on top of that alone. So maybe they do a good job. They don't. So far, they've been doing okay. So Disney Marvel's been doing okay. So far, Disney Marvel's been doing
Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna say, can we be your friend?
They haven't been doing too bad, you know, not too terrible. Sony.
I mean, if they end up being the nigga bands, then that's okay, right? Then I'm okay with that. But if they end up not being, then
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm still not
that's true.
okay
It could
with
be
it.
misdirection. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see what they do with it. It'll be interesting to see. Like, but they did. But then again, they did take some liberties with Moon Knight, but they did overall a good job with it.
Yeah, they did.
Um, I personally didn't see the different personalities having the different suits coming. I do like that touch.
I do too.
Um,
At first I didn't like it. I didn't like Steven as Mr. Knight at
mhm,
first.
mhm. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
Yeah, where he was like, I picked a suit. He told me to pick a suit. I picked a suit,
yeah,
or he told me to summon
yeah,
a suit.
yeah,
I summoned a suit.
yeah,
And but when Steven accepted the fact that, like, oh well, if we are one, then I can do all this too. And then I was okay with it, because I was like,
yeah.
if they keep him like a bumbling idiot, I'm going to be
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
upset.
Yeah, for me, it was the confidence and the truncheon. When I saw that come out, I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
yes, use that more." And then we starts like I'm like, "Yeah, we're getting it. It's happening. It's happening."
And then he totally gets like kicked through a wall
Yeah, he
by
does.
Harrow. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, that was a good. That was a. I hope he gets nominated. That show did went above and beyond my expectations.
It really
For
did. It really did. I really enjoyed it. I hope there's a season 2.
It was cool. We got to see a little bit of everything. It was yeah, I loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I highly enjoyed it. Uh, I hope they make a season 2. I hope they bring Oscar and back for some more of Steven, Mark, and Jake. I would love to see some more Jake action.
Yeah.
Maybe put that on the mature side of Disney so we can really see Jake in action. So, but yeah, I think that's all I got
That's
for
it for me.
Moon Knight.
Mhm.
But
2
this
thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. I enjoyed it. Highly enjoyed it. We will be back next week for the season finale, season 1 finale, which is going to be on the Multiverse of Madness. So I
That's
know
right.
we normally don't say what we're doing, because normally we don't have it figured out, but we actually have it figured out.
Yeah, we do.
So we'll be back next week for the season finale, which will be episode 12. Then we're going to take some time off after that, and then we'll be back with
For
season
another
2.
season. Yeah.
So, but thank you guys so much for hanging out. We really appreciate it. As always, you can catch the live recording every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or if you can't make the live recording, you can catch the upload every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and we'll see you next week for some Multiverse of Madness.
Ooh.
Boo. Bye.